Texas Prison Story family, salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow back here with another one. Just want to tell everybody what's up, man. Hope y'all having a good day, good weekend. Enjoy yourself, be safe. Got a little bit of news right here about Harris County Jail. We do a lot of talking about, of course, prison because this is Texas Prison Stories. But we skip a lot of the talk about how dangerous the county jails are and how a lot of times that they're less safe than a damn prison because each one of them is ran different. There's not a lot of prison politics to control them, and a lot of them are just dangerous due to the staff. How about that? Each one of them is notorious for doing a little something different. But Harris County right now, let me get this shared out. Hold on. Sorry. Harris County right now is actually under fire in a way that I've never seen them before. Zaydog, what's up? Ray, salute. And I'm gonna play the video. And I'm gonna let you check it out. So watch this.
A manslaughter indictment returned against a former detention officer has focused renewed attention on rampant violence plaguing the Harris County Jail.
That's right. Fox 26's Greg Rugen tells us many people believe the loss of life is a direct consequence of too many inmates under lock and key and too few people to guard them.
Fox 26 has learned new and disturbing information detailing horrific conditions inside the Harris County Jail on the night of this alleged crime. Critics have coined a new and sinister name for this place of confinement.
The Harris County Jail has become the house of death in Houston, Texas.
And the outcry against what's happened here is growing.
These inmates are not animals. Treat them with the same dignity that you would treat your brothers and your fathers and your sons and your kids. Don't treat them like dogs. They are not dogs.
The latest development, a manslaughter indictment lodged against former detention officer Eric Morales in the death of Jaquari Simmons. Attorney Dave Batten represented 11 other officers cleared of criminal wrongdoing by the same grand jury.
We've got some scapegoating going on here. I don't know why.
Batten says the death of Jaquari Simmons occurred during the massive winter storm of 2021, which caused power outages at the jail and forced detention officers on duty to work 30 hours straight.
We don't have enough people working. You can't work people these kinds of hours and expect them to function.
And there's more. Batten believes the public should know Simmons' death occurred as the entire jail was immersed in violent chaos.
There was a riot. In fact, during this period of time, Mr. Simmons had assaulted an officer who was trying to feed him, threw food on him, and came out trying to fight his way out of the cell. The officer hit him, knocked him back into the cell, closed the cell door. He was out of control. It was hard for the officer to try to get him under control. And they did everything they could to get him under control.
Whether the force used to subdue Simmons was criminal or
You get the point on that one, man. And yeah, Harris County Jail is treacherous. I'll never forget, I only went one time, but it was something that was kind of the sheer amount and size of people processing through like a cattle farm was unbelievable to me. I couldn't even tell you how many people get arrested every single night, go to the county jail, but it's got to be a lot. They arrest you. First, they took me to city jail, which was one of the most dirty things I've ever seen in my life. That thing was literally disgusting. It was like a long cell block hallway with all cells on the right. When you get in there, they have the same blanket for each cell that stays in there. So you're getting a blanket some Dauphine was sleeping on last night. It might be crabs in there. You might get that STD. You know what I'm saying? You never know what the hell is on it. But you literally have no choice because they keep it freezing cold. That's part of their mental way of controlling somebody is by freezing your ass out. So you're here in city jail wearing this, using this nasty gray blanket. It's terrible, itchy, scratchy, smelly. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get a little I don't know how to explain it, like some green bologna, almost gray green bologna. And y'all can say in the comments I'm not bullshitting. It came in this little blister pack. I never seen that before. You have to like peel it apart and make your sandwich. And man, that shit just looks so old, disgusting. Okay. Then you hit Harris County Jail after that. And when I seen the Harris County Jail the original time, I could not believe. When you get to intake, they're talking to you like a drill sergeant, for one. That was what was unbelievable. Like the guards and jailers in Galveston County Jail was always kind of laid back. These guys have a drill sergeant mentality. I think maybe a lot of them are ex-military or want to be. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Okay, so they're letting you know right away, don't step out of line. And at the time when I went, I don't know if this still exists. Maybe Zadog or somebody in the comments can tell us. But there used to be a line, and the line was on a wall. You had to stand behind the line and reach forward and grab the wall and get pat searched. Check your pockets, make sure you got no weapons, shit like that. Here was the crazy part. The line was kind of far back. So if you were short, guess what you're going to do? You either have to cross the line or you're going to fall forward face first. If you cross the line, they were slapping you in the back of the head. You're getting roughed up. They're picking you back up. They're yelling at you. They're screaming at you. Really, really intense. Like when you see the new military guys get off the bus and the drill sergeant run up, yep, 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 yep. That's how they were doing people. Okay, so they take you there. If you can reach the wall, thankfully I could reach it. You're okay. There was a bunch of guys that couldn't know, so I'm just watching the show. Like couldn't even believe this was real. They took us into this other bigger holding tank area. Okay, you sit in there and watch for a little while. Here was the first real crazy thing that I seen. It was unbelievable. Hold on. I'm sorry, that's my daughter right there. Anyway, so listen, the first crazy thing that I seen in Harris County Jail, other than just the pure amount of people, the line, that was kind of crazy, but there was a guy in the very first holding tank that we go to who was clearly mentally ill. I mean, he was literally, you could look at him and see that he was probably not having a mental capacity of a grown person. How about that? He should have been at MHMR or something. Well, for some reason, this guy wants to peek through the window and starts masturbating right there in the first holding cell. That's why I say it was clear that he was insane. Hey, Denitza, clear he was insane, okay? They came in there so deep, and I mean deep, told everybody get out the way, and they stomped this man unbelievable. That was the first time I seen them put on these black gloves that they wore in Harris County. And when I say brutally beat them, they brutally beat them. And I was like, oh my goodness, Of course, you're always gonna probably get that result from the male guards because they're protecting their women. But it was way overboard what I seen. So I'm like, shit, this is crazy. Okay. What we were doing in this tank is they have like these it was a bank of computers. I call them look like cash registers or something, like you go to a courthouse. They call you up and that's when they do your intake process and they find out who you are. They tell you wherever you're gonna be and all this type of stuff, you know what I mean? So I walk up to a lady and at that time I still had the permanent gold teeth that don't come out. I walk up to the woman and I'm like, hey man, she say, you wanna be bleep and call me the N-word. She said, take out those gold teeth, boy. I looked at her, I say, ma'am, these gold teeth don't come out. I said, I'm sorry. She say, oh, well, I got something for you then. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what that means. Whatever, okay. And I didn't want to be rude to her. So I go back, but I'm like, damn, this lady just called me the N-word or want to be N-word. You know what I mean? That was like crazy to me. So they take us, we change into a few more holding cells. In the holding cells, there's nothing but a damn empty room. We're sleeping on the ground. Everybody's sleeping using their shoe for a pillow. People are falling asleep and they're taking their shoes off their feet at that time, stealing them. You know what I mean? I seen one guy literally take somebody else's shoes I'm like, man, this is a trip. And I'm just kind of sitting in the back minding my business. Like, this is something else. I ain't got shit to do with none of this. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there. We go to, I can't even tell you how many different holding tanks we went. We kept thinking, oh, this is it. We're going upstairs. We're going to get a sale. We're going to do this. And there were people screaming they want to bond out. Didn't have access to any type of telephones, no communications, nothing to call anybody. Everybody was pretty much just trapped in there. And I wish I could describe to you the odor and the smell. That's why I tell everybody this is not the place you want to be or the life you want to live. Because even from day one in the holding cell, the smell was like, I don't know, imagine 40 men in these holding cells for a few days. Nobody's got to brush their teeth. Everybody's deodorant has wore off. Some of them's hygiene wasn't even that good when they got there. They were already stinking. Some of them just ran from the cops. They've been in fights. Some of them are leaking blood. You know what I mean? Like the odor and the nastiness of the shit was shocking. Like, damn, man. Because in Galveston, we had a couple of holding cells downstairs. You go upstairs to intake, and then you're going to get a bed soon. It was nothing like that in Harris County. So I'm literally just sitting back, and I had never even been to prison at this time, never been to state jail or anything. So I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is a crazy show. You know what I mean? It's literally real nuts. People in there discussing their neighborhoods, where they're from, all this shit. And me, I'm hearing places that I never didn't even know existed in Houston at this time. I'm still naive to the game, young and shit. So I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna be real exciting when we get upstairs. And one thing that I will never forget, a cat in the holding tank, he asked me because I had on a blue shirt and some shoes with blue shoelaces. He said, "What's up with that?" He said, you banging or something? You a crip?" And I said, "Yeah, wow, what's up?" And he was like, "Oh man, you gonna have it rough upstairs, man. They ain't gonna like that." And I'm like, okay, well, whatever, we'll see, you know. And he kind of had me a little in there. I'm like, what you mean they ain't gonna like that? You know what I mean? I ain't know what the hell's going on. So I go upstairs finally. Okay, I'm going to the place, and they put me on the fourth floor. And these places are super small. Okay, first of all, very small. There's not a lot of room. You ain't got no room to run around in here, nothing. There was like, I want to say two steel picnic tables and about 40 bunk beds. Well, no, about 25 bunk beds. Okay, so that's two people, maybe 50. About a 50-man tank, I would estimate. When I walk in, I see people laying everywhere on the floor. You understand? Like there's mats under the damn table. A guy had his mat rolled up where he was sleeping on the table. There were people sleeping by the toilets. There were people sleeping under the TV, between the bunk beds, everything. And when I get there, the only place left is by the toilet. So I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't sleeping by no goddamn toilet. There's no way I'm sleeping by the toilet. You know what I mean? So I didn't know what to do. I just put my mat up for a second and just said, I'm gonna figure this out. Somebody's gonna have to move. I don't know what, there's no way. I know whoever's sleeping by that toilet's gonna have the least respect in a tank. And I'm just not gonna do it. You're not gonna be shaking piss on me all night. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm plotting on how the hell I'm gonna get a place to sleep a little bit better. I sit down for a second at where there's a little room at the table and just kind of peep the scene. The first thing I notice is daytime. There's nobody like under their covers sleeping. Nobody's taking a nap. Nobody's doing none of this shit. I'm like, what the hell's going on? The first fucked up thing I seen about Harris County that I couldn't believe is you can't get under your covers during the daytime. Think about that. You're a grown man. You might be a killer, bank robber, kingpin. You can't get under your covers in a cold ass place and lay down during the daytime to make time pass. So I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Well, you crazy. Shut up. Made me block you. That bullshit. I don't mind it. But anyway, so I'm looking at all this, and a cat comes up and talks to me, and he runs a bunch of names down by me, and I have no idea who these names are he's talking about. I'm like, man, I don't know this person. I don't know this person. I don't know this person. And he just kind of walks off, says that's weird. Here comes somebody else. Asked me a bunch of names. I'm like, man, I don't know him. And a third person finally come up. And he said some weird random names. That's why I have a video about don't fall for this, because they tried it on me. He said some weird names too, but all three of them mentioned the same name, Bali, a man named Bali. So I'm like, man, hold on, man. All three of y'all just asked me about somebody named Bobby. Who the hell is that? Is that you? And he started laughing. He was like, yeah, that's me, man. I just wanted to, a lot of people say they know me. And I just wanted to see, did you know me? And I'm like, nah, fam, I wouldn't sit there and say I know you and I never heard of you. Okay. So I had indeed actually heard the man's name before, but I didn't know him. He was a guy that was friends with my brother. And Bobby at this time was in Harris County Jail. He got caught with a kilo driving down 45, I believe. And he had another case pending where he shot somebody like 9 times in Galveston County. So he was facing a lot of time. He was a real convict and real swole, real one. So we kind of connected right there that first day. We talked a little bit. We knew all the same people and everything. And he told me straight up, hey, man, this is a fucked up tank. All these cases in here pretty much aggravated everybody going to prison. Just be careful, man. It is what you think it is. And I'm like, all right, Bobby, I appreciate that, and everything. And actually, I realized in there that there was no tank boss or anything like that. But out of everybody there, Bobby ended up probably having the most respect because he had a ton of money. He wasn't scared of nobody. He was probably facing as much time as anybody else in there or something. So shout out to him. I haven't heard anything about him in a long time. I don't know if he's still doing time or not or what's going on, but he actually became my friend while I was in there. So shout out to him wherever he's at. Galveston County people definitely know who I'm talking about. He's from Dickinson. So I see Bobby, how he's kind of moving in there, not really fooling with too many people, not doing things, you know what I mean? And I kind of started kicking with him a little bit. But about my second day in there, I guess, I also met this cat named Ethan from City Gas. Ethan was a Rolling 60 Crip, real dark skinned cat. And man, he was one of the coolest dudes I ran across in a long time, maybe ever. We clicked so hard, but right there, my second day, and that's how he found out what he was. He got into a fight. Harris County, they called it Fade to Gray. It was a little small, painted gray area by the door where the guards couldn't see you. That was the rules. You fight in that gray. Do not come out. And I'm going to tell you the next craziest thing that I seen. Hold on a second. All right, my bad. The amazing part and where the weirdest abuse I've ever seen in my life, abuse of power, anything happened in Harris County Jail, is it wasn't Ethan, but it was the next fight. Okay, the next fight happened the same day, and they got caught. Literally, the guy comes out the grader, slamming on the deal, and guess what they do? They rush in the tank with those same black gloves on, beat both them men up. Like it was no separating the fight, none of that. They literally abused these men, beat them down, and they made the rest of us strip butt naked and get on our hands and knees. Think about that. We now got about 60 men in a tank that's not made for 60 men. Everybody now naked on your hands and knees. You got nothing but a booty hole in your face. Extremely demeaning. And they left us like that for a good while. And that's their way of calming the situation or whatever. And if you were to get up, they're going to come in there and beat you down like that too. And you're going to probably go to the hole and get beat again. Everybody knew it. You know what I mean? So when I seen that, that's when I knew this was a different little beast right here. We're in a whole another animal, not what I'm used to. Because the savagery and the way that they beat them was a little bit too much. I said, oh, this is crazy. Well, I myself actually got into 3 fights when I was in there, but they weren't like real major or anything, And luckily, we didn't get caught because the man that I was fighting, couldn't do anything to me like those damn police officers were gonna do. So that's really what was in the back of your mind when you're thinking about somebody calling you out or you got to fight or whatever. realize you might fight him and get stomped out by these police, and everybody else is getting stripped down butt naked and having to suffer. You know what I mean? It was just a really strange environment, the way that they was handling people. There was a famous officer, okay, that they called him Sergeant Slap a Lot. If anybody's been in Harris County back in the day, or they call him Sir Slap a Lot, Sergeant Slap a Lot, all that shit, because he literally slapped men for no good reason. You know what I mean? He was like one of those sadistic people that would like to take advantage of those that are weaker than him, those that are in trouble, things like that. And I remember, I won't say the exact instance because I'm not going to pinpoint the man. I ain't trying to just rat on nobody because everybody knows who he is. But I remember when I was in the tank, I was hearing about him, but I never ever seen the man, thankfully. But we were watching the news one night and he was on there and he had something bad happen to him. And the entire tank started clapping and cheering and happy. I was like, oh yeah, this is serious. They really don't like him. And that's when I started realizing and they was explaining a little bit more about why they didn't. You know what I mean? But I'll go into more detail. I actually probably do a video called My Time in Harris County Jail, and I get more detailed about it, get into it and everything. But you have to understand, I wasn't even there very long. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of crazy shit. It's I know Dallas County Jail gets a lot of publicity. They have an awesome documentary about it. San Antonio Jail with Bear County Jail. Man, there's a Jefferson County, a few of them that just are rock and roll. Like I said, they really Zay, you remember him, huh? Shaw, what's up? Yeah, he was the truth. He was gonna get some act right in people. You know what I mean? And when these guards are abusing you and doing things like this, man, it's because they know they have full authority. Okay, so we'll go in about what just happened with this young man that was talking about on the news clip. This young guy, it said how the guard was trying to feed him and he was charging the guard and throwing his tray back. But the news article didn't mention what it said in some of the written articles about them keeping him in his cell stripped down naked, which is illegal. You understand? They had him in a cell stripped down butt naked that he knows is illegal. They know is illegal. Of course he's mad. Of course he's throwing a tray. Okay. So the story is that he charged this officer that's been charged with the manslaughter. And if I'm not mistaken, the officer is something like, or jailer was something like 6 foot 240. I want to say is what it was. Excuse me if I'm wrong. He's a really, really big man. And the guy supposedly charging him is like 5'4", 120. So we're talking about a man that's probably twice the size of him. They said he slammed him on his head, did some other crazy things. And basically, instead of subduing the man, he started uh, allegedly fighting the man, and caused his death. But with all the crazy, wild ass things that's happened in Harris County to these inmates, last year, check this out, 24 inmates died in custody. 24 inmates in one county jail died in custody. And that can be from use of force, lack of medical care, all kinds of type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like it can literally be the wide variety of things. Wag Deuce, what's up, cuz? Salute, my brother. And we're talking about Harris County Jail. The feds are stepping into Houston County Jail down here, and it's been to investigate. There was 24 men dead last year. 4 men already passed away, and I think the number was 17 jailers suspended and 1 arrested for manslaughter. Okay, but I actually have a little bit of problem with the manslaughter charge because manslaughter is like a 2 to 10 case, third-degree felony, and it means that you caused the death unintentionally. But I'm feeling like if you went overboard in your line of duty, you over-restrained, did something to somebody, then it's probably a murder. I don't know, but being the job and stuff like that, it's a bit of protection. Of course, they're part of the Harris County Sheriff Office, stuff like that. So it's going to be a tricky situation. This young man's family has a good attorney. That's Ben Crump. in the news. You know, he's well connected with the media, so there's gonna be a lot of pressure on these guys. And we know it's a hard job. Like being a Harris County jailer, man, like I said, it's just as wild as anywhere. Dade County, Miami, Dallas, LA, Chicago, all these places are the jails are violent, more violent than the prisons. You know what I mean? Like some of them are old. You don't ever see the guard, shit like that. Oh yeah, I seen that. Listen, Jacoby Pillow. I didn't know you know him. Rest in peace. He was actually in Harris County Jail uh, on trespassing charges, y'all. About as low as misdemeanors you can get. And then it's sad, man. He got, I'll say, because I wasn't there, allegedly over abused by the guards and was left in a cell, and they found him unresponsive like a week later. So he's one of them that the federal agents are coming to investigate. And I believe it's going to cause a chain reaction of things to get caught, because when any facility is investigated or anything like that, they start cleaning stuff up real quick, and they're extremely overpopulated. Harris County, you might go to jail. If you get arrested in Houston, you might go to Harris County Jail, or you might go to Louisiana because they have to rent beds in other places and stuff like that. That's how crowded they are. But it's a sad situation when you think about 24 men in one facility losing their life. Everybody knows how medical care is in a facility. If you're in a life-threatening situation, you have a chronic illness or any type of thing like that, you're as good as a goner going in there. You know, it's literally a matter of luck healing on ibuprofen and cold busters, shit like that. One of my young one of my young homies, they have a lawsuit pending right now against a state jail in Texas. I ain't gonna talk about it because it's still pending, and I don't want them to lose. But the young man was calling home for days, telling his family that he's sick, that he's having problems. They're not treating him; they're just giving him ibuprofen. And he was found dead in his bunk. And I think two or three other people, are also suing for the same type thing. You know, so it's pretty crazy. Get to these Skyler. What's up, brother? Salute, man. Sorry I ain't been paying attention to the chat. Here, y'all do me a favor. It's 91 people. Y'all hit that thumbs up for me. Make sure y'all subscribe to my brother Wag Deuce Against the Grain channel. Zaydog 400. Harvey, I seen you in there too. Salute, brother. And yeah, listen, Perry, I got word today that there's still men going on the hunger strike. It's not over. Believe it or not, they're still going right now. But it's like I said in another video, some guys have like fell off and are rejoining the hunger strike. Some people joined later. Some people are just starting. Some people gave up. You know, it's like it in Texas. I told this to Brittany, much love to Brittany from the Texas prison reform. She's a bad lady. You know what I'm saying? She's real serious about what she does. But I told her it's my opinion that until somebody dies from this hunger strike, it won't be taken serious. And it's not going to be necessarily the life of the man that dies that's even going to make the difference, because nobody's going to care about him in Texas. And unfortunately, hate to say it, it's going to be the fact that people are willing to die for a cause. You know, there's a lot of people in this world that's willing to kill for a cause, but there's not that many that's willing to die for a cause. Think about that. So if you have men in a situation that's so bad, so foul, that they're willing to lay their life down to try to improve it, get it better, shit like that, that's what'll get the attention. You know what I'm saying? Benji, salute, man. I appreciate you. So I don't know. I wish them luck, but if nobody stays on it continuously and actually just dies for this shit, then these rednecks not gonna care in Texas. That's the fact. This is a state that is hard on crime. It always has been. Look, we still have illegal marijuana here. They won't allow gambling. Abortions are illegal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just Texas, man. What can we say? Love my state, though. Great state, but you better follow the law and act right down here, because they got something for you. And I feel like all Texas prisoners themselves should probably all lay it down at one time and just go on strike, shut the prison system down due to the fact that they don't pay these inmates. They run a profitable corporation selling goods manufactured by inmates, and they don't make a dime, And I would say maybe they're not supposed to, except for the other states pay people. The feds pay people. They literally are making you a slave laborer in Texas. So they have reason not to parole you here. Why would they parole their free labor? You know what I mean? So it's just not the life you want, y'all. I'm gonna say big salute to you, and I probably start really actually working on that real video and sit down and remember more and get it a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I'll actually go into how I got the place to sleep, shit like that. But I appreciate it, man. What's up, neighbor? Salute. Uh, Y'all do me a favor before I tap out of here. I'm not gonna go yet. Drop your locations in the comments for me and just let me know where you're watching. I know Zaydog, are you in Baytown? I know Monica, San Antonio. Ash is Galveston County. Jerry from Kentucky. That's what's up, man. One of my best friends is actually in Murray, Kentucky. And man, I love that guy. Ken, if you see this, man, big salute. Canada. Okay. We have a few people from Canada that always tap in. Oh, Baytown too. That's what's up. My little niece was just living in Baytown, out of Conroe, Texas. Oh shit, Victorville. You're in Prison City, huh? Indianapolis. I bet it's cold up there in Minnesota. Shout out to that northwest side, man. That northwest side is far as hell from Galveston, but I do like going up there. One of my homeboys has a business off JFK Boulevard, a little food truck somewhere up there. Gangland, real talk, huh? Caldwell County, Louisville. Man, we got people from all over. Allen, Texas. That's what's up, man. Say, listen, I want to truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank everybody for always participating, all the love we've shown. If y'all don't know, I'm still pushing this shit by myself with the few people that I rock with, and we just trying to do it this way. Uh, Stay growing, stay adult, stay serious, try to represent Texas right. We do this without drama. We do it without hating on the next man if we can help it, you know what I mean? Unless we just have to tell the truth about something. We try to represent Texas right, y'all, not embarrass the state. And I just have love for everybody. Look at all the places people are watching. So it's actually unbelievable to me. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get on TV with me. Look.
Ow. You just hit me.
That's what we do this for, y'all. For the young kids. For the young men. I'm sorry. I'm working. Go in there. I will open it. I'm fixing to go, y'all. But listen, this is the real life shit, daddy shit. Dealing with this little crazy kid all the time and trying to keep everybody else out of trouble. And you remember, Texas prison stories, this is not the life you want, y'all. Try to stay free, man. Salute, Audio. Love you, brother.